Alright, so I'm back, and today we're doing the second part of Grimlock Week, and we're going to take a look at the Transformers reissue Energon Grimlock, which is Toys R Us exclusive, comes with the Age of Extinction Grimlock that I just reviewed. So, and here he is in his Dino mode, and it's actually not that bad looking. I mean, its proportions are a little wonky, but it actually succeeds on a lot more levels than the Classics Grimlock does. You could have him, straightforward dinosaur if you want to, but it's also completely feasible to have him, like G1 Grimlock, which is really cool. And he actually looks like he should be in this pose build, or in this, he's supposed to, it looks like he's supposed to look like this. Without too much of a stretch of imagination, like the Fall Cybertron Grimlocks, you can kind of get into a position like this, but it looks a little unnatural. Whereas this looks pretty natural. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of hollow points right there. Yeah, he does have the hollow points with his legs, but you still can't see it when you're looking straight at him, and you can kind of pose his head how you want. Mine, it does suffer from some loose joints, which is very unfortunate because this is actually a pretty good representation of Grimlock, I think. So yeah, he's not bad. Posability wise, his head is on a hinge, so it goes up and all the way down. There's a really good posability there. There's a transformation gimmick where he's supposed to combine with the Energon swoop, which I might try and locate him just because. There's also a slider in there, so you can kind of slide his head up and down. There is a little bit of a pivot. Mouth opens and closes. Not a huge opening, but anything bigger wouldn't be too natural for a dinosaur, I don't think. So, pretty good range of motion there. His arms are on just swivels, so up and down. And he does have two claws, which is what Grimlock's supposed to have, or what a T-Rex is supposed to have. Grimlock always had 3, but T-Rexes have 2. Back leg is on a swivel, so up, down. That's really all there is. They can kind of ratchet out. There's a swivel, both above and below the knee joint. Bends at the knee. The claws have a pivot to them, and so do the back claws. Nothing at the tail, but that's okay with me. So, all in all, he's a pretty posable figure, and he definitely, like, if one were to paint this yellow gold, he would definitely look a lot more like G1 Grimlock, I think. And that's pretty good. He's a decent figure in this mode. So, get into transformation. He transforms pretty much the same way all Grimlocks do. You take this whole assembly here, and you just... Oh, don't pull his arm off. But you take this whole assembly here, and you just pop it back, like so. And that just folds onto his back. Pretty much all Grimlocks will have a backpack of the top portion of the T-Rex. That's just how it is. And then you take the legs here, and you just split them, and rotate them down. And you take this piece here, and split it. These will go to the sides, like so. And then you straighten out the legs, split, and there you have his legs done. His arms, you want to just fold the claws up, rotate, and flip down the hands, like so. And you take the shoulders and you push them up. Now here's where his overall look kind of starts falling apart. Oh, there's back here there's a little heel spurt. Just pull that out. He still looks pretty decent in this mode. It definitely looks more like G1 Grimlock than Classics Grimlock did. There's no doubt in my mind on that one. He definitely has a Grimlock look and feel, which is pretty nice. The backpack does make him very back heavy, as you can see. He's wanting to fall over. Let's see if I can maybe open this up. Push that down a little bit further. Yeah, he's still pretty back heavy. Really back heavy. There we go. So now this figure and the swoop that he came with originally was supposed to be the first figures made for the Transformers Universe line, the first one, because they were doing just repaints, but then they decided to throw it into Energon, and this is what we get. So like I said, it's not that bad. I'm a little irritated with the I can't stand up on my own look, but it is what it is. So let's do some size comparison. Here he is next to the Seeker mold, and he comes up. He's about half a head taller than the Seeker mold, but definitely he looks really short and stocky. But he's a deluxe scale, and it's actually a pretty decent deluxe scale. Here he is next to Optimus, and he comes up to the windows. And here he is next to the iGear Seeker. So yeah, he's not in that right size scale, but he does look more like G1 Grimlock than the Classics ones did, and we'll look at the Classics ones next. Posability: his head does swivel, shoulders go up and down, kind of in and out. It's a weird looking joint the way it's designed. There's the double swivels and the bends at the elbow. Nothing at the hand, nothing at the waist. Hips are on ball joints, although it's basically just up and down with a little bit of a tilt in there. And the knee does bend. Nice ratchet there. And good bend too. So, and he does come with a sword, which is interesting because this is actually just a red version of the G1 Predaking sword. So it's kind of interesting that he gets this. But it does fit into his hand. And there you have Grimlock in robot mode. All in all, he has his flaws. He's not great by any means. By any means at all. I do like him better than the Age of Extinction Grimlock and Classics Grimlock. I think he looks more like a G1 Grimlock. I wish the yellow was gold, though. That would really set him apart too. And the biggest flaws that he has is because like these arms don't really lock up into position very well, and they should sit a little bit higher. That would make it look a lot better. The reason why they don't is because this whole assembly here splits apart, and that's for a combiner gimmick that the Energon figures did. He's got a second head up here for like Dino King. But I don't have the swoop, so I'm not going to combine it. But I mean, that is one of the reasons why he's having difficulties both standing and with proportions. So it's unfortunate that they decided to go that route with this figure when they could have just made a better figure. But all in all, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10, just the same as the Age of Extinction Grimlock. He's not bad. If you're looking for a good deluxe Grimlock that looks like G1 Grimlock, this is probably your best option. The Fall Cybertron ones look great too, but those are Voyager scale. So if you're have your heart set on a deluxe scale, it really boils down to him or Classics, and Classics just does not fill the bill very well for me anyway. So there you go, Transformers reissue Energon Grimlock.